I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. And we're back for the weekly review show. Crikey. And we've got one heck of a panel for you lot. We've kept it old school today. Tom, unfortunately, is currently on the terrace, so he won't be here. Or I presume that is where he is. Gini's currently on the wank, so he's not showing his camera at the moment. But we have currently got Matt, Russ, Niall, and Dom. How are we all doing?
He just said Gini's having a wank on stream.
Dom, with some of the shit you've come out with in streams, I don't think you're in any way able to question what I say.
True.
I mean, I don't think it's the greatest start, if I'm being honest.
It's the weekly review show. I mean, if you don't know what the weekly review show turns into normally, then you clearly haven't watched the show, to be honest with you.
I think Gini just flashed up for a second and now he's gone again.
You're right.
Hello, mate.
Right.
Finished already?
Finished what?
He doesn't last long, Gini.
What have I missed? Clearly, Niall's
Oh, here he is.
something happened.
It started. It started already.
What? Domini is the back.
No. Gini just bashed out a quick one. Luke is on his way, but I think he knows that we do this via when everyone played, so I think he's just trying to avoid Arsenal, if I'm being honest.
I rushed to make sure we get here to do Arsenal. I was rushing, lads.
Yeah.
How many sugars, Dom? How many sugars, Dom?
God knows.
You don't know how many sugars are in your tea?
No, I don't make it. I get on my
Yeah, but what, they didn't ask you how many sugars you have?
I get on my work Gini.
You do, you don't.
Yeah, I will. Don't you worry. I think it might be two.
This is incredible. But let's get into it, just in case Luke does turn up and sees us talking about Arsenal. So obviously, the first game that we had was this one. And who would have thought the newly promoted Arsenal would have lost their first game to the massive Brentford? I mean,
me for a start, because I literally said 2-0 Brentford.
Yeah, same here. I did the same.
I mean,
to be fair, we were all thinking 2-0. Like, to be fair,
I think it was RJ who posed the question in the group chat of what do you genuinely think the score is going to be, and I responded within about 10 seconds saying 2-0 Brentford.
Yeah,
I did think Brentford would win. Because I've watched Brentford in the Championship and they're not too bad, and Arsenal are just.
Sure, I haven't watched much of Brentford, but Arsenal are just predictably shit. That's the problem.
Mate, I don't even think they were predictably shit. They were shitter than normal. They didn't even have Aubameyang or Lacazette. Like, they played with Balogun, who I've just realised isn't actually very good at football. So we've identified that Balogun's not very good at football. Martinelli, I mean, if anyone ever compares Martinelli and Mason Greenwood ever again, I'm just going to punch you in the face. because that's just disrespectful. You should realistically compare Martinelli with someone like Nketiah. Like that's his level realistically. I mean, okay, yes, he won the. Was it Olympics? Yeah, he didn't play in the final.
Yeah, he did the one Olympics,
but he didn't play in the final though, did he? So he didn't really win it.
Tough luck, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Brazil had quite a good team, didn't they? Barring obviously Martinelli, but I mean, there's talks that Arteta might lose his job soon, which I hope for the sake of Arsenal he doesn't, because I'm quite enjoying watching it.
No, I hope for the sake of the rest of the Premier League he doesn't lose his job, because it's just great.
It does bring that sort of entertainment value, doesn't it? Watching Arsenal absolutely stink up the league.
I just enjoy the fact that you still get Arsenal fans going, yeah, Arteta won the Lampard debate. And it's like, well, that's great. You guys enjoy him. We're a club that actually has ambitions. And, you know, I think Lampard won the debate by getting sacked and us winning the Champions League, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Well, to be fair, Lampard won it by getting top 4, didn't he?
Well, yeah. Well, but he's won an FA Cup, Niall.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Community Shield.
Oh yeah, fuck me, that community.
The funny thing is, Ollie's the better of the them, so it is what it is, boys. You know.
Arteta in.
Yeah, I'm very much Arteta in. What about you, Shal? What
100%. Believe in the process. Believe in the process.
Trust in the process, RJ. Get the phrase right, mate. It's trust the process.
Believe in it.
No, RJ, you're not speaking the Arsenal way. It's trust the process. Remember, and then they do a little dance. I can't remember what the dance was. I think it was that dance, and then they went and lost like 18 games on the trot, which was mildly amusing. But Shal, your rivals, well, apparently rivals with Arsenal. I don't know how serious.
We're not rivals. Let's not offend everybody.
Well, that's why I said I didn't know how serious the rivalry was nowadays. But
well, I mean, it's irrelevant. My rivals are like, if I was gonna anything near a rivalry, like the closest like near competition is West Ham. It's fucking not Arsenal, and it's fucking not Spurs. Arsenal, let's just keep Arteta. Let's Arteta sign a lifelong deal to Arsenal, like an actual net for the next 10 years. Because I'm telling you now.
Fucking hell, Charles, he's only like 30. I think he'll live longer than 10 years.
To be fair,
I was going to say, he's managing Arsenal. He might not.
Literally, I'm trying to think of his heart after Arsenal get relegated, you know, from like Championship to League One.
Can they get back-to-back relegation so they can come to Home Park on a Wednesday night or something?
No, come on, have some belief in your club. You'll beat them in the Championship. Come on.
Do you know what I'm really?
I mean, that works for me. I can show Luke where he can get a pasty from in the Barn Park end.
Do you know what I'm really enjoying at the minute is Arsenal fans. They are so delusional. It's even funnier than last season because they're like, yeah, we're going to finish in the top 4. And I'm like, what drugs are you on? I need some. Like, whatever you're on. Like,
Arsenal fans seem to fall into 2 categories now. You have the ones who are like, oh, we've brought players. We're going to finish in the top 4. This is going to be a great season. And then it's just the other end of the scale when you have ones who have just given up on life and football in general.
So you've got. So I was just about to say you've got a gal on one side who are like, yeah, Arsenal's winning the league invincibles, and then you got Luke like, can I go support Argyle, please? Yeah. Like that's the sort of levels. I think Luke would probably pick Argyle over Arsenal right now, just because you might have some more enjoyment down in League One. It's actually not a bad league. There just
seems to be no middle ground with Arsenal fans right now. They're either like on top of the world or just really, really depressed.
Yeah.
To be fair, if my club had been that shit for that long, I probably would also be that depressed.
Oh, I don't blame them in the slightest.
Well, I blame the ones who are, you know, overly delusional. Like I think Igal had Arsenal as 5th this year. Which I thought was a mad prediction to go with.
Hell ambitious.
stupidity.
It's-
I think they're going to be lucky to get like 9th, 10th, to be honest
Russ,
with
I
you.
was just about to say that.
I'm sorry. Why are we even trying to be generous and keep them up in 10th? They're not making the top 10. Let's be realistic. They're not. They couldn't beat Brentford. I think that sums up their season.
Are you very
They
confident
can't
in that,
beat
Ciaran?
Brentford.
Are
Pardon?
you very confident on that? Do you want to put a challenge there?
What do you mean?
So, well, you know, have you ever watched HITC Sport? How, you know, if he always puts a prediction and he puts a punishment up if they do. So what happens if
Okay,
RJ, where the hell are you going with
I don't know.
this,
I don't know.
Right, Charlotte,
If
if
you're not
Arsenal
confident, I don't
finish,
know.
if
Realise
Arsenal finish in the top
RJ,
10,
you-
right, you've got to egg yourself on stream.
Okay, fine.
egg on the
Look,
Okay, that's fine. But if Arsenal finish below 10th,
I'll do it.
RJ, yeah.
no. RJ, you have to shave your hair off.
no, gosh. Nah, I'm not.
So RJ's gone from very
They're two
confident.
completely different things.
RJ's
Well,
gone
they're fucking
from
not. I have to ruin my hair, get eggs stuck in my hair. It's going to take me fucking hours to wash off. You've got no hair to wash off then.
She makes a very good
God,
point,
no.
RJ.
Oh, Jesus
I ain't
Christ.
putting my money on Arsenal. That shit is way too risky. Mac isn't even in bed for that.
Okay,
Oh, so
okay.
you want to bring
Okay,
this?
okay.
You want to bring this?
No. I know a way to deal with this, right? Charles, if they finish in the top 10, you have to go buy an Arsenal shirt and wear it on a live stream. RJ, if they don't finish, if they finish in the top 10, you have to go buy a Man City shirt.
No.
Hold on.
No. Here.
Listen, good lad.
If
they do finish in the top 10, you've got to go buy a City shirt and wear it on a live stream.
Niall, we can make it so much easier. We can
I'm
just
not
buy
wasting my
shirt.
money.
I'll donate £5 to the Macmillan Cancer charity if you keep it on stream. You can't say no to charity.
He's got you both there. So the loser has to give £5 to Macmillan.
Let's move.
I think that's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's
Gini,
fair.
You got anything to say about Arsenal?
Whenever you're ready, mate.
Gini, are you there? After Gini?
Oh, he's shagging his dad now.
Fair enough. Matt, what about you? Anything to say on Arsenal?
I still think they'll finish fifth. I think it's just how bad game.
What?
I still think they'll finish fifth.
Finish where?
Fifth.
Fifth.
Right,
Yeah,
can you put your face on camera and say it to the screen?
No, right now. I know.
Big up noodle head. Big up noodle head.
Is there a number after 4? Just to clarify.
Yeah, they got no European football.
Right,
They-
tell
they-
me your
they-
top. Tell me your top 5 teams.
Man United, Man United, Chelsea, City, and Liverpool, and then Arsenal.
So Arsenal are going to finish ahead of Leicester.
Yeah,
Tottenham,
Tottenham's a debatable one.
West Ham.
What? And hold on.
They'll finish above West Ham.
Hold on. Out of Leicester and Tottenham, Tottenham is the debatable one.
Yeah,
Are you on fucking
That
crack
all
cocaine?
depends on if they keep Harry
No.
Kane. Then I understand.
yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, but
They knew
Leicester.
something, and they played very well against City.
But Harry
Yeah, but
Kane
Leicester-
doesn't want to stay. Harry Kane blatantly doesn't want to stay
Yeah,
at
but-
Spurs. So he's just going to hand.
but if
He's
he-
just going
if
to
we-
hand everybody own goals. He still wins the Golden
but if-
Boot because own goals still count as his.
If we think about it logically, though, Leicester have got a better squad than Spurs. Quite
That's
easily.
not hard to do. That's
I mean,
really
they've
not
got
hard to do.
midfield 2 of
course they
Ndidi
do.
and Tielemans.
They do.
And then you've got like,
Of course
then you've got
they
like,
do.
then you've got like Harvey Barnes and whoever else plays, like Perez or you know, Albright, and then you've got Vardy, and then if they don't play Vardy, they went and got flaming Patson Daka. So I mean,
They're fucking
they've got
they're fucking
depth
proven
as well.
second half season bottlers.
Well, that's why
Iheanacho,
that's why he's
Vardy, and Daka are better than Aubameyang
Their
and
best centre
Lacazette.
back's just been injured for like
yeah,
most of the season.
but Matt,
But they
their
signed
best
Vestergaard
centre backs.
now.
Okay,
They signed Vestergaard.
that's absolutely fine. Arsenal's best centre back is Rob Holding.
But no, it's Ben White. Let's not take the piss.
Is it?
Well,
Yeah.
are you sure about that? Because I watched Ben White get bullied against Brentford, so I'm not so sure.
He had an
about this.
unlucky debut, to be fair.
I'm not sure.
Unlucky.
Moving on, because I think Matt's about to either get a smack in the mouth from Charles or just get sectioned. Well, I think you're deluded. But on to Old Trafford. I just think you are very deluded. Actually, you're almost an idiot. But on to Old Trafford. Yeah, I'll watch nothing because nothing will happen. But on to Old Trafford. It was a decent performance. First half was quite shite. I'm not going to lie. We did a watch along, and I can't begin to think about the amount of times you lost possession to each other. It was like neither of you wanted the ball. It was quite horrific, really. Bruno obviously did get the first goal of the game in the 30th minute. Greenwood did set up Paul Pogba for what I can only assume was the greatest chance to score for Paul Pogba they'll ever get, which is basically dink it over the goalkeeper. What Paul Pogba does is dinks it over the goalkeeper and past the post. You know, that's definitely worth £89 million or 92, whatever you paid for him. But he did sort of make it up by getting 4 assists. Obviously, you did concede though early in the second half, which RJ was on the stream with me. He came on at half time and went, "Oh, Leeds have just scored." He was like, "For fuck's sake," and then just left. It didn't take you long though. Greenwood, Starboy getting you back in, and then Bruno getting a goal, and then getting another goal, and then somehow how the fuck Fred scored a goal, I will never know. But Fred finishing the round on. Well, it was a fucking brilliant finish, which is why when I was on the live stream, I was like, "Oh my fucking god, Fred scored." I was in disbelief, really. But Dom, we'll go to you first. A decent performance for first game back at Old Trafford with fans there, and aren't the Sikhs back now? Aren't they back after a little while?
Yeah.
So you might win something now.
Plan. But people are saying that it's a very good performance. It was, but we need to keep it going for the next fucking however long left of the season. We can't just think, oh yes, we beat Leeds 5-1. We had
37 games
last season, and look, we finished second behind City. And with United, fucking hell, we played Southampton on Sunday, and it looks like most likely that we will get beat because Southampton are not the best side in the world, and they've lost the main striker, and it always happens to United. But it was a good performance. Bruno with 3 penalties. Fred being Fred.
That was funny.
And
well, actually, it's a very unlike Fred performance because
Fred performs. And
yeah,
also,
you
need to understand how important McTominay is to the team. Like, if they don't know how important he is, they actually don't watch the games, and it's really funny to watch on Twitter. But yeah, that's my
Jesus Christ.
Because I'm United fan.
Mustafa says, "Now, why do you hate Fred so much?" I don't hate him. I just think he's a really incompetent footballer. If I'm being honest. Bruno winning Golden Boot says, Mustafa, noodle head more like crackhead. Jesus Christ. Does Chris even like anyone? He always has a pop at someone or a team. He definitely doesn't like Arsenal. I can tell you that much for a fact. Arsenal are like Leeds 20 years banter club with shit owners. Well, they haven't got relegated to League One. We're waiting for that, really. And Wolf saying, "Don't question Niall." Mustafa warning you. Love it. What a lineup. That Russ guy is cute from someone called Russ. Yeah, so big up to Raphael. Hello, my friends. Here in Brazil, we think the European clubs don't care about the Club World Cup. There are rumours that teams play against their will. Is that true? No, I think they don't mind it. I think it's annoying. Don't get it wrong, but I don't think clubs play against their will, mainly because you get money out of it. So the owners,
I think it's just that English clubs, like say Chelsea, are going to have to do it this season. They don't want to have it. They don't want it to happen in January. because of the winter time, because they've got the FA Cup coming up, and United did it in the past where we had to withdraw from the competition. Ferguson was fuming about it because it's another trophy at the end of the day that you want to go and win.
Well, you think Fergie was fuming? The FA were hardly impressed. So I think they've started being a bit more flexible about it. But no, I also think it not hinders the season, but it just puts that extra competition that, to be frankly honest, you probably don't want to happen. Like, you got 38 Premier League games, then you got your Champions League, followed by Carabao Cup, and then you got FA Cup. It's just another competition added on, isn't it?
You got to think about what happened to Liverpool as well when they were good. That they had to play, and they played the under 23s and the under 18s against Aston Villa side, and with 3 games, had 3 games in hand on everyone else in the league, and it just fucked the whole league season up.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. But Charles, United, what did you make of their performance?
You know what? Man United fans are a funny one for me, because you have because you have some United fans who are just like happy they've won and it's a great start to the season. And then you've got other Man U fans being like, yeah, 22's coming. I'm like,
21
I'm like, but I'm confused. Like, one game means, oh, stop shouting, you dickhead.
It's not one game. We've been saying it since the summer.
But it's not happening though. Like, you all need to pipe the fuck down. Like, it's one game. It's the start of the season. It's the start of the fucking season.
The Champions League
just remind. No. Okay, you want to go there? You want to go there then? Okay, remind me who in over 100 years handed Villarreal their first ever fucking piece of silverware, because it wasn't my team. My team won the Champions League, bitch. Okay. Pipe down, you dicked.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the weekly review show. That was an interesting one.
Don't worry. There's no hostility here.
Gini, I'll go to you next. I feel like I'm going to the rivals for United before I go to some of United fans. Gini, what did you make of United winning 5-1 against Leeds?
First off, is pretty much all I watched. I turned it off at 3-1, so I can only comment from then. Alien's goal was class, but Leeds was so easy. I didn't see the other 2 goals. I'm not going to watch them back. But first off, all right. Good to see fans back in the stadium, even though it's them. But it just looks so easy. Leeds was so open. Their defence is a shambles. I think that makes Arsenal's look good. But I don't know. We don't
push it too hard, Jimmy, will you?
Norwich was easy.
Norwich was. Norwich
wasn't.
To be fair, when you sell your main your main creator on the pitch, you kind of do look shit after a while, don't you?
Yeah.
You what?
When you sell someone who's influential as Buendia in your squad, you kind of do become shit.
What are you talking about Norwich for? It's United Leeds. Are we that in
I was just about to say, RJ, slow down, fella. Slow down. We've got a fair few games before we get to Norwich Liverpool. Don't you worry about that one, sunshine. But knowing as you want to talk about United, what did you make it again?
Look, what do we really expect? I mean, the lineup was kind of anticlimactic. To be fair, McFred starting, people really thought that we were going to start with them. However, look, I do.
Hold on. There was someone who said that McFred would start. I just wanted you to say who that was.
Who?
That would be me. Remember the United show when I was making the overlay stuff for it, and I went, who's going to be in your midfield? I went, double pivot of Fede McTominay, and you were like, no, it'll be like Donny and Matic or some sort of I don't know, Turkish cuisine or something.
In my defense, they did start against Brentford the game beforehand, so
in a friendly. Okay, cool.
Anyway, regardless of the point, no, look, this was a phenomenal performance by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the lads. Bruno getting the hat trick. Just proving why he's world class. People can always say, Penandes and all that shit, but
Any of you going to give credit to Paul Pogba, or is he just a missing man?
I was getting to that. Jesus.
I just like how you. I like how.
I mean,
Yeah, well, it's okay. We're not Graham Souness. I just thought the guy who got 4 assists might be a bit more important than the guy who scored a hat trick. But that's just my personal opinion.
Nah, look here. The thing is, both of them are sensational players, and look, we finally got the Pogba that we actually deserve. I mean, this is probably the first. I wouldn't say it's best.
Got the Pogba that we deserved. It's took him 5 years.
Well, yes, Dom, but listen, like, have you ever seen him?
And he's not going to be consistent. We've seen it. We've seen it when he had the best.
Okay, maybe we do have Graham Souness with us.
I'm being serious.
Don't be Michael Richards.
He's a fucking class footballer, but he has to be more consistent.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But we saw that last season. Last season, from January for the end of the season, he was consistent. He got us so many points.
He got 3 assists all season.
And how many goals did he get?
Like two or three. He scored what? He scored one away. He scored one away against Burnley, one away at Fulham.
Where else?
West
second
Ham
season,
as well.
he done similar to this. He scored like in the first 3 games and then ghosted the rest of the season.
I do think Dom makes a valid. I do think Dom makes a.
Yeah, I understand, but we can credit the fact that look, this was probably one of his best performances for the club. 4 assists, setting up Greenwood, your favorite player, clearly, and obviously giving Fred a goal, kind of showing how bad this league squad was today. Or that day, sorry. So I mean, yeah, good performance overall, and we moved to Southampton where we will absolutely trash them 9-0 again.
I just say they can't change the system, and I think that's the only fault to that team. If they could change the system, there would be a fucking they'll be fighting top 6.
You say that, but they changed they sort of changed their system against you at Ellen Mode. I think maybe they underestimated you. Maybe they did just underestimate you a little bit. I think maybe they got a bit confident at half time, being only 1-0 down, then getting that early goal in the second half. They might have just got a bit overconfident and thought we can get a draw out of this. And then United just turned it up about 5 notches, starting with Mason Greenwood before.
When Leeds play, they're always going to get praised by the commentators because of Leeds United, and they also got named as one of the nearly nominated for Coach of the Year, and apparently it's fucking magnificent, but it plays one way, and he'll end up going down this season. And I said they'll be fighting relegation. You all laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now.
Still,
they won't be in relegation, Dom.
They play one way. Everyone's figured them out.
So does Burnley, and look, they're still surviving.
Burnley can actually play.
Do you just compare Leeds to Burnley?
We are also joined by Luke. Luke, you unfortunately missed Arsenal, which I'm sure you're not too upset about.
I don't know why you associate me with Arsenal. To be fair.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're an Argyle fan, aren't you? We've got Cambridge tomorrow night. I'll let you know the score.
I'll be watching, mate. Somehow I'll be there.
Nice. Valve. At the moment, I've got like 9 of us, and trying to keep the peace with 9 of them is going to be difficult. I'll get you on next week though. How's everyone doing? I see you all. Big up to Devon. Souness, why didn't Pogba get 5 assists? Why did he only get 4? What's he still doing at the club? Yeah, Souness with his just casual racism on Sky Sports. Love to see it. Can't wait for Chelsea and Man U. Hopefully see Lukaku and Varane battle it out. Yeah, I mean, it'll certainly be interesting with this lot. Charles and Russ versus the rest. When RJ got put into a spliff by an Arsenal fan last season, so I mean, it might not be best. It might not be best to have him sort of fight in your corner. Absolutely phenomenal performance, says Jay.
It was you.
It was me.
Well, he's now.
Hold that, RJ.
Luke forgot he put RJ in a spliff for Europa League.
I don't remember that.
My team didn't lose to Brentford, did they? So
it was one of them. It was when you both were playing at the same time, and we did like one of them duo match reactions, and Luke absolutely. It was you. It was RJ and Matt versus Luke, and he still came out victorious. Which was
Matt didn't say much apart from winning the double.
Yeah, there you go. He fucking does the fucking most stupid shit.
His performance against Man City
Anything.
when he came back was amazing. He only shows up for 3-4 matches per season. I think we should have sold him off and bought Camavinga. Interesting there from Devon.
Who's that about Pogba?
Yeah, sell
Camavinga,
Pogba for Camavinga.
Jesus Christ.
I would have probably sold Pogba for like a.
We shouldn't have to sell
Or something.
anyone to buy Camavinga. He's like 30 million.
Yeah, but if you want to sell Pogba and replace him with anyone, you might as well just replace him with like Frankie De Jong or something. At least you're getting a world-class DM there.
Here we go.
No, but it makes sense though. Breaking news:
It does.
Ronaldo to PSG apparently.
No,
It could be
bracket
happening.
news. It's fake. Fake.
No, I have heard it do the rounds. It'll be a bit like United winning the trophy.
Bruges.
Yeah, non-existent.
No, I will
I-
because if
You're
that
winning
happens,
the
that's what
quadruple.
happens.
We're winning the
I
quadruple.
guess he plays for Southampton.
You know what,
But
Sean? I
Burnley-
wanted to react so bad. You can't be asked arguing. I really can't.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't want to talk about Man United anyway.
Yeah.
Did you not,
I
Russ?
didn't
Well, I
get
was
the
going to ask.
No, that's
I didn't
Yeah,
get to talk about
it's-
United. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's okay, Noodlehead. You can talk about Burnley with
Yeah.
I'm
Russ.
not talking about Burnley.
You
I
are
didn't
talking.
watch the Burnley game, so
Well,
Look at that.
you can see that you can see the score on here, and RJ.
I did watch the United game though.
Was that
Or
right
if you want
as
to,
well?
if you want to talk United. Then there you go. Go back to
Well,
United.
I just
What
want to
were your
say,
thoughts?
like, at the end of the day, right, Paul Pogba, he costs £1 billion, right? He should be getting at least 6 assists every game of the season. Minimum 6 assists. I want to see at least 6 assists, and ideally, if he's having a good game, 3, maybe 4 goals as well. You know, if you're going to cost a club £1 billion and you're not white, then you have to really perform. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be a part of this now.
Goals, and Pogba only got 4 assists. Like,
Just to clarify, before anyone tries to cancel me, I am being horribly sarcastic right now.
He is a Chelsea fan.
No. This is the truth.
Hey, to be fair, if we want to talk about any set of fans being, discriminatory, we should talk about the Liverpool fans being homophobic.
Yeah,
That did also happen.
This was a stinky weekend for fans having
What did they
absolute
do?
howlers. This was an
They chanted some homophobic chants to Billy Gilmore.
It's
I think Gini was the.
It's got nothing to do with Billy Gilmore, by the way. We've done it for years.
Every
well,
club calls
maybe-
him that.
maybe-
Remember when
Maybe
everyone
that
thought
you
Russ
are,
was gay?
Every
Like,
I'm not sure that's something to brag about.
it's nothing to do about Billy Gilmore, but we've been homophobic.
Nothing to do with
for
Billy
years.
Gilmore. We're just always homophobic.
It's-
No,
Quite
every club
interesting.
does it. You can't just pick on Liverpool for that. Every club calls him that.
well, every club's homophobic. Lovely. And Matt, you
I thought no.
Matt,
Come on,
Matt, you homophobic bellend. Talk about your club.
No, I'm not homophobic. 21's coming. That's all I want to say.
Wolf says, "I got a question for Don. What's your honest thoughts about Phantom?"
Oh no.
Save that for another time, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We want the stream to
let's
be like
save
7 hours
that
long.
for the late show. Not ideally not. The Chelsea are an absolute disgrace. They were racially abusing their own players. Were they?
No.
I don't know.
I mean, just to clarify, Chelsea. Not all Chelsea fans are an absolute disgrace. Let's get that factually correct here. There are hold on. Let me finish, please.
I wanted
There
to be
are-
sarcastic
there
for
are-
a second.
There are
Let me be
a group.
sarcastic.
No. There are a group of racist pricks that call themselves Chelsea fans that we don't associate with, that are massive pricks. But there is a large group of Chelsea fans that actually aren't and actually respect Chelsea players. So yeah, we can all
There's
acknowledge
also
that.
Chelsea
Thank
fans
you.
who are racist who are just pricks.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I've just said that.
You have it in every single
Would you
club.
call a player that? Would you call a fan that racially abuses their own player a fan? I wouldn't.
No.
Well, no, they're not a fan. They're not a fan. You can't class them as a fan.
They're just scum. RJ, I want to go.
They don't even deserve to come.
Wait, CNTV.
They don't even deserve
I'm not
to
talking
come.
about this. I'll fucking leave at this.
No. RJ, I want you to talk about this because you made a few statements in our preview show to the Premier League. And statement one was Burnley, Brighton will go down and Neil Maupay will score many goals. Well, on opening day of the season, Neil Maupay gets a goal for Brighton to go and beat Burnley 2-1. So have you changed your thoughts, RJ,
No,
or are you still a massive dickhead?
Wait. Just to clarify, RJ, are you saying that it's just the first game of the season, so it doesn't really tell us anything about how the season's going to go? Is that what you're saying? Because it's just a second ago. I thought you said 21's coming because you guys won your first game of the season.
Don't compare me to Matt. What the fuck?
I
I know our accents are quite similar, Russ, but I'm not comparing.
You're all Irish to me, mate.
Niall, I just thought I'd give Arsenal fans some good news right now. But apparently Barcelona want to sign Aubameyang.
Yes!
How can they
afford them? Like they can barely afford to buy Messi.
They're not going to be able to afford his wages. Are you
unless they're going to pay him, like, you know, just.
They'll pay him.
Who is Ty? Who is Ty? That is like the best comment ever. Who is Ty? No, can you pull up the fantasy league? We'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end.
Don't do that.
We absolutely will be.
One of us has had a stinker, lads, and I wonder who.
Yeah, we have, and we're going to look directly. We're going to look directly into his team and see why he's got a stinker as well. But we're going to speed up a few of these because else we're going to be here for the rest of the millennium. So Burnley lost to Brighton 2-1. Obviously, RJ's favourite team and favourite player. So yeah, of course, a bit like United winning the game is a fluke. Anyone got anything to say on Brighton Burnley, or shall we move on?
No.
Go on, Gini. You can say something.
It's time for Burnley to go down. It's happening. It's
nah. Burnley ain't going down.
Sean Dyche is going to leave at the end of the season. And going to get the
just quickly, Niall, on that game.
Yes.
Did anyone see Burnley's goal and how was that given?
No, I didn't.
I did see it, and to be fair, it was controversial.
How was that given?
Oh well, potato. They still lost. Like, what the fuck?
What happened?
All right, Gini, why don't you go?
I think it was Tarkowski rugby tackled on the floor.
Makes sense. Valve makes a good point. Pogba is not world class. What player robs Greenwood of an assist? Exactly. That behaviour makes him not eligible for the team of the week, and automatically puts Greenwood up top. Who saw that come in? Well, welcome to North Korea, guys. But who wants to talk about Chelsea? Obviously,
let's skip it.
We'll let the two Chelsea fans talk about this. But before we obviously talk about the goals, how nice is it to see Trevor Chalobah on the score sheet for Chelsea after waiting for such a long time to get his chance?
It's about fucking time. I've been watching this, I've been watching him in the under 23s, under 21s. I've been watching him academy style, and he's so good and he's so talented. And I'm happy. You saw how much when he got that goal. You saw how much that goal meant to him. You genuinely saw that. It was such an emotional moment.
Not just him, to the team. You saw you saw straight away Aspilicueta go straight to him, Mason Mount, Jorginho.
Obviously, I think a lot of people forget that Mason Mount and Trevor Chalobah have actually been friends for a long time. They were ball boys together. They've grown up together. So it's a beautiful thing to see a full circle in Trevor Chalobah. And he is one of my players. If he doesn't go on loan, he's one of my players to watch this season because I think he's going to have a fab season. But it was a great game. Crystal Palace, to be fair, didn't play that well. I mean, it wasn't really a challenge. But good to see Pulisic on the scoreboard and Chalobah as well. So, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. What about you, Russ?
Yeah, no, what a great moment that was, man, to see Chalobah not only have his first Premier League debut, but score a goal as well.
What a
And like
goal
you
as
said,
well. What a fucking goal.
what a cracking goal, and just what a beautiful moment. You know, you saw him drop to his knees and start crying basically straight away as soon as he scored. You know, and that just shows you what it means to him. And we all know that it's not an easy journey from the Chelsea academy to the first team.
Mm-hmm. No, it is
and
not.
You know, all right, in the last couple of years, we've had a lot of players come through, but you know, in general, over the last decade or two, it's been an almost impossible journey. So it's really nice to see that even with Lampard gone, we've still got players that we're trying to pull through from the academy, which gives me a little bit of hope. Even though we've sold a lot of young players this summer, it's nice to see that at least one of them appears to be slowly making his way into the first team.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, Pulisic again. I love the guy. You know, I'll always back him. I saw a lot of slander of Pulisic before he scored that goal, which suddenly then turned into Pulisic is the best. But and Marcus Alonso as well. I mean, what a free kick that was. I don't think anyone was expecting that. You know, I don't think if I remember correctly, we didn't score a single free kick last season.
Well, actually, I think you did. I think it was when Tuchel came in. It was from Marcus Alonso, but you know,
wow.
He's certainly someone who's been reborn at Chelsea, hasn't he, under Tuchel?
I mean, yeah, it's the system as well, though. At the end of the day, he's a wing back, and he's poor. He's a poor left back. You know, I'll be the first person to admit that. As a left back, he's poor. As a wing back, he's fantastic because he's great. He's great going forward. He's probably much better going forward than he is defensively, realistically. Yeah. So, you know, I think he's just a victim of systems. You know, he didn't fit into Lampard's system, but he does fit into Tuchel's. But of course, it's nice to see him playing and doing well.
Not a lot of players fit into Lampard's apart from Mason Mount. Let's be honest. Maybe even Edward Mendy.
I think he just doesn't suit four at the back, Alonso. You know, he's always struggled in a back four, but you put him in a back five and he shines, and he's always done that. But you know, he's good going forward. That's
what the best managers are there for. They're meant to find a system that fits most of their players, and Tuchel has obviously found that. But Luke
coming to a team and couldn't make any signings whatsoever. So, like you say, you know, he's got to look at the squad he's got and say, right, well, this is the system that's going to suit the players that I have.
Yeah,
and he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, he's certainly done all right. Luke, Chelsea and Palace. Chelsea convincingly winning that.
Nah, I think Palace were robbed, to be honest. 3 lucky goals, just absolute joke. Patrick Vieira, though, he's winning the league. I'm telling you.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I know it's sarcasm.
Crystal Palace will win the league. I'm not saying what league, because it'll be the Championship next season, but they're winning the league. Under Patrick Vieira, they'll win the league.
Well, someone agrees with me.
Devon says breaking news.
He is a useless manager. Jesus Christ.
Mason Mount to leave Chelsea for Arsenal for £5 million plus William. Fucking hell.
Advantage Chelsea, sorry. If they're getting Willian and Arsenal are getting Mason Mount, fucking hell, what a swap deal.
I'm really happy for Chelsea to finally have some quality on their wing, bringing William back to the club. Makes sense. Anyone else got anything to say about Chelsea Palace before we move on?
Can I just say that? Okay.
Chelsea aren't title contenders.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
Go on, RJ.
Shut up, Noodlehead.
Yeah.
You tell him, Luke. But yeah, carry on, RJ.
No,
before you'd be interrupted by Matthew.
You do have to give some credit to Chalobah. I mean, the fact is he's been here since the first Jose era, which, to be fair play to him for actually surviving this on. Yeah, he has been here since the first Jose era.
I'm guessing he was in the youth academy for first.
Oh, of course, yes. But he was able to play. I think on the second one, because he was like 17 or something like that. He's 22 right now, obviously, but you do have to take into consideration there was another player that Chelsea gave to Crystal Palace quite generously, Mark Guehi. And you do feel bad for him because it could have been the opposite way around. You know, Chalobah could have went to Crystal Palace and Guehi could have been that star. But no, in general, like, fair play to him. Look, and also the tweet that he said back in 2016 saying to his mother, saying, you know, he'll make and all that, and now scoring the goals, it does make a feel good moment, you know. But yeah, no, in general, you know, good score for Chelsea. I mean, big up to obviously Pulisic, one of my favorite Chelsea players, just because he's a baller, man. People do. He does go underneath the radar, and obviously, I'm a United fan, but still, I can still support other people. But yeah, no, for me,
Shamelessly twerking for your rivals.
not off, like, seriously.
For Chelsea.
Also big up to Fortnite God. If you are new to the channel and you're still watching, do hit that like button. Hit that like button. Make sure you do subscribe. Plenty of content coming. Next up is RJ's favourite team, Southampton. They got their asses handed to them on basically just handed to them. Obviously, Adam Armstrong scoring against the manager who sold him at Newcastle. Before, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin and Doucouré all got goals in the second half to give Everton 3-1 win. And not a bad start to life for Rafa Benitez at Goodison Park, as weird as that may sound to say if you're a Liverpool fan. Actually, Gini, I'll go to you first. Rafa, your old boss has gone to manage one of your greatest rivals on the other side of town. How's that feel?
Small club, it's fine that they're that irrelevant, it doesn't count. So
I knew he was going to say that.
No, their club mentality is to, when you go 2-1 up against Southampton at home, their fans feel that it's that great they run on the pitch. That's how scarred with silverware they are. They're a banter club. It's embarrassing. So Rafa Benitez going to Everton don't count.
I mean,
fair enough.
I mean, it does.
Fortnite God said, I made the name when it was good. I can't be asked to change it. I hear that. I do hear that. But Noodlehead, Everton, what's your thoughts on that?
I didn't watch it.
Excellent.
It played well. It was a 3 o'clock fixture.
Did anyone see it?
Well, I did watch the highlights, and to be fair, I kind of did not surprise this fixture, But I mean, Adam Armstrong getting a goal. I mean, fair play to him. I mean, people did put a big name on him. To be fair, when coming into the Premier League, he did score. I think was 7 less goals than Ivan Toney or some shit like that. I don't know, something like that in Championship last season for Blackburn. I mean, to be fair, fucking Michael Keane, what a fucking bollocks! What the fuck was he doing back there in defence? Like, he literally just hands him the ball. Like, I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. No, but Richarlison comes back. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with it was an unreal header. And 3-1 fair play for Everton. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Average header. It wasn't unreal.
Come on. It was a diving header, man. Come on. I love a diving header. Do you mean?
I'd back Niall to score
that.
I back me to score everything but STDs.
Just beautiful scenes because Southampton are going down, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I said Southampton are going down. It's going to happen, lads. I'm telling you. Trust me. I know. I said.
Hold on. Didn't you say that? I thought you said. No. You said Southampton were getting top 4.
Nah. I can literally prove to you that. Look, just watch my video. I said where they put them. So
for everyone watching, Noodlehead can confirm RJ said top 4. In that right, Noodlehead?
Yeah, I know.
I'll get Kendall.
It's not some hot take to say Southampton's going down. No, everyone thinks they're going down.
Yeah.
They literally sold Vestergaard for 15 mil. If I was Hasenhuttl, I'd walk out.
They
It wasn't the last year of his contract.
I don't give a bullshit. Literally 15 mil for your best centre back.
It's going to be a tough season for them. They've lost Ings. They're losing Vestergaard. I think it's going to be a tough season.
We might as well just save them the time and relegate him now. But moving on, obviously Wolves had a new manager with Bruno Lage. Obviously Nuno has gone to some club in London. Jamie Vardy, who last season didn't have the greatest of seasons, sort of in front of goal. Well, because of injuries, old age, whatever you really want to put it down to. There were debates on if he would even, start getting back to his former self. Now I know it's only one game, but 1 game, 1 goal. At the moment, he has quite a good scoring record, doesn't he? Clearly not top goal scoring because I think that might go to Bruno, but. Not bad for Vardy. But what more important, we all know what we're going to get with Leicester. We're going to get a team that's going to be fighting for top 6. But I want to talk a little bit about Wolves. What's everyone think of Wolves' chances of achieving anything this season?
I only watched the highlights, but I heard Wolves were robbed. Apparently they had like 3 clear-cut chances and missed them all.
Yeah,
I
that's
heard
Adama
that.
Traore for you. He is fucking.
No, like
Yeah, I heard Wolves were robbed.
one player we do have to take in consideration is Raul Jimenez, who came back. I don't think he looked the same, lads. I mean, you guys can argue, but
Fuck. One fantasy team. Fuck.
Okay, RJ, you try fracturing your skull and then going back into playing Premier League football.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't think we'll ever see him back to that quality ever again, sadly. Because
back then, it's hard to say that straight away. It's one.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I mean, to be fair, it took Luke Shaw for 3-4 years to get back to his former self. So
the problem is with him, one of his best attributes is head. So it's just a shame that he fractured his skull.
Yeah, he's got to wear that protective thing on his head now, doesn't he?
Did he even wear it? I thought he didn't wear it.
They did wear it, yeah.
Did he wear it? I don't know.
Yeah, Wolves had to get it specially put through the Premier League just to make sure that you could wear it. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a really firm padding.
You have to take into account as well, though, that Jimenez is 30 years old. He doesn't have 3 or 4 years to get back to his best.
Yeah, he is. He's old.
Yeah.
He is old. It's not saying that badly, but it's sad that his career is, like that.
Do you think Fabio Silva might be the one to? Obviously, he is. To be fair, Fabio Silva is a very young player who, maybe in a couple of years' time, he'll definitely, I think, grow into the Premier League if he's given the opportunities of Wolves. Do you see him as that sort of long-term replacement for Jimenez?
Yep.
Obviously, you'd have to completely change it. You'd have to change your style of play completely because you're not going to fill the box with tons of crosses for Fabio Silva because he's about 4'2". But I disagree with that. I think he's definitely
showed signs. He showed promising signs. He's not consistent yet, but he's young.
Yeah, there's not many young players that are consistent.
I think he's only rated because he's good on Football Manager in career mode. That's what.
No, let's say if you watch him last season, he did have some decent games last season. You can see
I'm being dead serious. You could watch any Wolves game from after Jimenez injury, and you would probably see Fabio Silva miss a big chance. Like he missed a big chance every game.
He did, but I think especially first season, and he was never meant to play that many games in his first season in the Premier League, never. Right, so because as Wolves were never expecting Raul Jimenez to be out for the rest of the season after clattering heads with flaming David Luiz, who clearly has a head made of stone or something. But no, I think Fabio. Give him a bit of time. I think very much, arguably.
How long are you saying?
You've decided to give Wan-Bissaka like 3-4 years now, so I presume. Well, no. Well, okay. So you've given Wan-Bissaka 3-4 years to try and be a competent right back. So should we give Fabio Silva 3-4 years? To be a good centre forward.
He'll be gone by next season. So
he's only just turned 19.
He's gone by next season.
You've got to remember, he's literally just turned 19. Yeah. And like Niall said, he wasn't brought in to play that many games. He got chucked into an awkward situation where he wasn't eased into the team. They
were struggling last season as well.
Yeah, they were struggling, and he was forced into a role that he wasn't ready for realistically. And he's a young player. He's going to take a while. I think you can see that he's got talent. He's a talented player.
Yeah, and I think that's the bit to focus on. Really, it's not about what he's done. Last season, because last season was an anomaly season for everyone. Obviously, especially for him because he's having to replace Raul Jimenez, which is very difficult. Also, with no fans in the stadium. Would have impacted him just as it would everyone else. So, and he's adapting to the Premier League. And you can ask Didier Drogba about his first season in the Premier League. And guess what? He'll say it was really difficult and really shit. So, you know, I'm actually looking forward to seeing a bit of Fabio Silva this year, and I actually hope he gets a fair few goals. I think there is a real talent in there. I think Wolves need to work out how to use him. I think Wolves last season, they played a lot of sort of direct crosses. When you got the likes of Neto and Adama Traore on the pitch, you want to flood the box with crosses because that's how they operate. I think with Fabio Silva, you want to sort of maybe try it a different way. You need to approach him in a different way than you would Raul Jimenez. So I think you're very naive to rule him out straight away. And if you do, I'm half tempted to call you an idiot, but I won't be so rude. But moving on, Watford. Now, this is a bit of a shocker. I think no one really saw this happening. I'm sure RJ's about to say, I saw this happening. I'm a genius or something.
No, he's got the luck of the Irish, that's why.
Yeah, I forgot the luck of the Irish. But Watford with Dennis, Sarr and Hernandez getting their goals. Obviously, John McGinn with a fairly decent goal. I won't lie. Obviously, set up by Leon Bailey. And obviously, Danny Ings getting on the score sheet in the 90 plus 7th minute with a penalty, but wasn't enough to try and get a point. Villa, should they be concerned? Or do you think that they brought in a lot of new players like Buendia, Danny Ings and Twanzebe and, you know, all of these players? It's just going to take a bit of time for him to gel. And this is post-Grealish, so...
I swear they always lose to Watford at home.
Well, they might.
Sorry. They do, yeah.
No, but look, Mash, but you do take into consideration they did lose their main player, the player that they have relied on for the last 4 years.
Oh, yeah, he's doing bits for City, isn't he?
Well, obviously,
that's beside the point, though, because he was doing bits for Aston Villa, and that's what you've got to remember, is their team was basically past Grealish and hope for the best.
Yeah, and look, the thing is, right, the way they were playing, right, they did play some good football at times, obviously when they went fucking 3-0 down, but, you know, like I said, you do need some time, because like I said, when you change your complete attacking lineup, it will take time for them, judging how one of them has not played in the Prem. Sorry, two of them have not played in the Prem. Obviously, Buendia played in the fucking Championship last season, but he played in the Bundesliga.
RJ, I don't want to have to do this to you, buddy, but I'm gonna do it now. Buendia played in the Premier League the season before the Championship.
Yeah, but he wasn't as good, though. That's the thing.
He actually was quite good. He just didn't get many goal contributions.
Yeah,
he had a whole season in the Premier League.
RJ,
okay,
there's an L
on the point. Last season, he was in the Championship.
There's an L on its way to you. Would you like to just hold it, please?
Last season, he was playing teams like Derby and, you know, so...
Yeah, season before that, he was playing teams like Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Yes, but we can only judge a player from, you know...
Yeah, but are you just going to... Are you seriously disrespecting arguably one of the most competitive leagues in English football? Do you know how difficult it is in the Championship?
Yeah, I didn't say that.
My question is, why can we only judge a player from last season? What's that?
No, but that's not what I'm saying, because like I said, 2 seasons ago,
we can watch this season.
Listen, right? Look, it's a good Villa side that'll take a while to gel. I think Danny Ings up top is a good signing if he can stay fit. And yeah, look, it's a minor setback, but to be fair,
Velv says, "What the fuck is RJ smoking?" Buendia created the 3rd most chances in the Prem.
RJ. Where did that get Norwich 2 seasons ago?
RJ.
RJ. I mean, he was playing for Norwich. RJ, where do you want him to get them?
Right, RJ.
Now he plays at Villa.
RJ. Just take the L and just accept it, buddy. Because
everyone want to ride with me. Come and take my
Kane in the lineup for Tottenham soon, says Zachary. But big up to Zachary. But what about the rest of you? Obviously, RJ has made some questionable comments regarding.
I'm not going to sit here and say I predicted Villa to lose, but I wasn't surprised considering Dean Smith is a bang average manager, but he's just lucky that his board are very good and ambitious and getting the players he wants. I don't think I wasn't surprised that they did so badly as they did without Grealish last season, because Dean Smith's record without Grealish is absolutely horrific, and I think they'll struggle this season because they don't have Grealish. And I know Buendia and Bailey are both good signings, but they literally play in the exact same position. which is a bit of a silly recruitment.
Well, I feel like they're going to try and push Buendia into that sort of cam role.
Which he
Yeah.
can't play. Did you see how bad he was against Watford?
Well, Luke, Luke. It doesn't matter if we think he's good or not. I think that's what Dean Smith is.
Yeah, that's true.
He's sort of targeting.
As good as a signing as Danny Ings may seem, like 30 million, decent, like he's a good player. Did Villa really need him?
No,
Like, did they?
I mean, Watkins was injured.
Yeah, I think
they had to do something to try and replace what they were losing with Grealish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Ings will at least offer you some goals.
Yeah,
but they should have addressed areas that they need. Like their midfield is generally, apart from McGinn, who's decent, their midfield is pretty average.
They're still trying to get Ward-Prowse.
I was just about to say they are looking at their midfields still. They're looking at Ward-Prowse. They obviously were after Emil Smith, weren't they? So
they got their bid for Ward-Prowse rejected, and like I don't really know like who they're interested in signing because I don't keep.
Right, just flood in bids of Ward-Prowse. It seems like Southampton will sell anyone for the right price.
That's true.
I mean, Hassan Hootel's wife is probably up for sale at the right price going to Southampton.
I was more surprised by I wasn't surprised by Villa losing as much. I was surprised by how good Watford played because I thought they were quite decent for a newly promoted club as well. Like they've always seemed to like kind of struggle in the Premier League as well. But I don't know if this.
Well, they have got experience though. This is what you got to remember. Watford sort of bounce up and down quite often.
Exactly,
they've got Premier League experience, you know. And
the thing is, if they stay up this season, they'll 100% go down next season. I don't think they've.
If they keep Emile Lassard, they'll stay up. But if they get rid of him, they won't.
Ismail Assar is such a difference maker for them. Like he really is.
Exactly,
I think if they lose him to, I think Liverpool are one of the teams who are most interested in him. But I mean, and to be fair, you would have thought that if Sarr was going to go to Liverpool, he would have gone last season when they got relegated.
Mm-hmm.
But he stuck around and they've been promoted, you know, so I can't see him going anywhere anytime this season.
Because Watford were demanding such an outlandish fee. They wanted like 40 million for him, despite being relegated.
That's not bad, though.
He's interested in him, but he's African, and we've got the African Cup of Nations who's already taken Mane and Salah.
Fucking hell, Gini.
No, but he does make sense. Like he'll be taken out.
I'm glad he added that. I'm glad he added that.
Gini's just saying that they can't afford to lose even more players at the same time.
I'm just glad that he added that last bit.
Because Naby Keita as well. Jesus Christ, the poor.
Well, is Naby
injured?
Did Naby get injured against Norwich? He probably got injured, didn't he?
Not yet.
But I was just going to say, I think we paid Aston Villa a massive disrespect here because, first of all, not all their incomings were in the starting 11. Leon Bailey came on with half an hour to go and made the difference, setting up the McGinn goal. Toan Zabi was on the bench, and they didn't even play half bad. They kept most of the ball. The last Watford goal was a great goal, which you can't do much about. And the Ismail Assar goal was just a complete fluke. It was the biggest deflection that's just luckily bounced over Emi Martinez's head. So Villa, it's not the fact that they've not clicked. They've got new faces in, which they will click over time, but they wasn't even awful.
But Watford did get a lot of shots away, considering the lack of possession that they had in the game. You know, they did a fair amount with it. I think they actually ended up taking more shots on than Aston Villa did, even though they only had about 30-something% possession. So I think, you know, you can't underestimate them too much.
Also, that is where Villa need to improve because midfield two of Nick Camber and McGinn's not the best, which is why I think they need Ward-Prowse, and then I think they'll be sound if they get Ward-Prowse.
I think the other thing that people are sort of forgetting is this is essentially a rebuild right now for Aston Villa. You know, they're bringing in new players left, right, and centre, and they've lost a player that their whole team relied on big time. Do you know what I mean? And
I wouldn't say the season's going to be the club. The club relied on Jack Grealish. Everyone relied on.
It's going to be an awkward season for them. Do you know what I mean? They've got to integrate a lot of new players and try and deal with losing their main man.
Watkins was also injured, and he's massive for Villa. He's class.
Of course, yeah. Watkins as well. When
he was on point last season, he was a big player for them, especially And plus, we don't even know how he's going to play with Ings. As I said, Ings will definitely start up top. It'll be depending. Does Ings go on the left?
Apparently, Dean Smith wants to play like a 4-4-2 or like a 3-back with 2 strikers.
Yeah. The only problem with that is that 4-4-2 is not really attackive, and that's probably the way Dean Smith wants to play, really. Because you look at last season.
I don't know. Ralph Hasenhüttl last year made the 4-4-2 work.
But he did lose 9-0 as well. So
but everyone gets so.
Players injured.
Right, everyone gets so stuck up about a formation and all of this, right? Firstly, it's complete bullshit because you're just set up in that way, right? You're not sort of the way to identify how a team is playing is the sort of structure of play, right? So not about how they set up on paper or how they set up on the pitch. It's about how those it's about how those players are used. So you could have a 4-4-2 where your wing back, where your midfielders, your wide midfielders, are moved more forward in an advanced role with your double pivot sitting in, which would make sense if that's how Dean Smith wants to go, because you'd have one of Buendia or Leon Bailey on the right, which I'm not sure who he would go for. Probably Buendia, which would be a bit weird. And then you'd have Leon Bailey is much better on the left than Buendia is. So you'd probably put Leon Bailey on the left and Buendia on the right, and then you'd have a front two of Ings and
apologies. Sorry.
Ings and Watkins, and then obviously you'd sort of have that double pivot. So it's about how the players are used, not where they play. If that makes sense.
I think a 4-4-2 would probably suit Aston Villa more because they don't need a 10 in that way, and Buendia isn't very good in the number 10, and he's brilliant on the right.
Yeah.
So it would make sense, and then you've obviously got the likes of John McGinn and whoever they partner him with to sort of man that midfield role. So it would work. But moving on to the Saturday night game, Gini, your team lost 3-0 to Liverpool. What were your thoughts on the game?
It was decent. What warmed us into the season, not bad. My fear was always going away from home first because you've seen in the games beforehand that the home crowd made a massive difference. But Norwich fans aren't.
I thought it was Anfield you struggled.
I know. Yeah, you what?
I thought it was Anfield you normally struggled. To be fair.
Yeah, not with fans. Fans are back now. But yeah, it was a decent game.
So what you're trying to say is Liverpool are just fan merchants, okay?
True.
We was away with fans in the stadium, but yeah.
No, but you're talking about last season.
Does it make a difference, Gini? It seems like there's no fans home or away either season.
Right, let Gini finish. I feel like we should stop bantering him for a second. Sorry, Gini.
Well, we won 3-0. Salah was class. Hopefully, this gives Bobby the world a good in his confidence to be better in front of goal. Like sometimes a tapping is just all you need to get going. And yeah, it wasn't that. I never want to see a midfield with Oxen again, to be honest, because he simply was terrible. It just showed you as soon as Fabinho came on, the game flipped on its head. Fabinho's so important to us. So first half poor, second half was great.
Fair enough. Anyone else got any comments on this game?
I mean, as a fan, it was good to see.
Yeah, that was all I can say.
It was good. It was good to see Van Dijk back. I guess. I mean, to be fair, the man was out for a year.
Not working for Liverpool.
Shut up, noodleheads! Literally,
You're your biggest rival.
Shut up! Like seriously, you swear, like if I say something nice about a different club,
carry on, RJ. I was liking that. Carry on.
Shut up,
See?
Oh,
it's better.
Go on, RJ. Keep twerking for Liverpool. We're ready to hear it.
Oh, I can't wait to win the title in May. We'll deserve it after 30 years.
Shut
That's
up.
what you were saying 2 seasons ago.
What the fuck? You're stupid. Fuck.
I love Irish people fighting with each other. It's just great.
He's not Irish. He's Northern Irish. Literally, he's literally.
That's the same thing.
No, it isn't. It's like saying that. It's literally saying that you and Charlotte are the exact same. Actually, never mind.
We are because she's from Essex and I'm also from Plymouth, so we're both from England. No shit, Sherlock.
Anyway,
it's like saying fucking no. It's like saying you're Welsh.
It's
Don't disrespect me
It's
by
saying-
saying
yeah.
that I shag sheep.
Yeah,
Basically, send
no,
off.
Fucking hell, RJ,
I'd
get
say
on
he
with it.
scouts much English to be honest. But
no,
Sky's not English.
good performance by them.
RJ, you want to have
like
sex
I
with the Van Dijk? All right, cool. Let's move on.
Right.
Shut up.
No,
Really
look,
fuck with
I
him.
have to say, right, I will agree on the fact that it's actually good to see Virgil back because, like, in 2 games' time, when Liverpool get absolutely fucking torn to pieces by Chelsea, I don't want to hear. I'm not going to hear any excuses. Oh, but we didn't have Van
See,
Dijk.
that's the fucking energy you should have. No, it's
Oh,
good
but we
to
was
see him
missing
back.
our best defender.
It's
Was
good
missing
to
our
see him
We don't
best
play them until
defender.
fucking November. Like, what the fuck? What am I going to
It's
say?
good to
Oh,
see him
well,
back.
don't worry.
I'm really
we'll
happy
beat you
to
in
see Van
November.
Dijk back. I'm really happy to see Liverpool strengthen themselves again.
Well,
So
I'm not a
good to see.
fucking horrible human being who wishes like injury on a player. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I don't wish injury on him. I just wish he
or
didn't
what?
come back.
Or what you want me to do? Do you want me to say like, oh, I hope.
I
it's
mean,
fucking late?
to be fair, I do believe that RJ, you did, take the piss out of him quite a lot last season with Jordan Pickford, but we move.
Yeah.
I was happy to see Virgil back, to be
that was
honest,
evil,
because
RJ.
when we beat you, I don't want any excuses. You didn't have a full squad, same as what Russ has said.
See, David,
Can we just like
Chelsea,
man up
I think, was most
He's just boring.
lopsided. Northern Irish
RJ
are
also said
unique.
he liked Leeds in the last game.
We won't
Shut
have
up.
Robbo.
No, I
Russ.
said like
oh,
Leeds.
look,
I
the
like it.
excuses
To be fair.
already. The
Yeah,
excuses coming out
the
already.
excuses, the
Shut
excuses
up.
are flying. Marnell, well, no, it wasn't on about you, you absolute muppet. Vel said
sorry,
we won't have.
No, but
Vel said we won't have Robbo, and Russ was like, the
Oh.
excuses are already coming.
Worse than the manager
Yeah, fair.
about money.
But RJ, if you speak to Russ like that one more time, he's gonna come to your house and beat the shit out of you. So
good luck finding me, mate. Good luck finding me.
what's your tone of what's your tone of voice? But obviously the 2 Saturday or Sunday games, shall I say? Does anyone feel sorry for Steve Bruce? Because
Yes, I do.
his team took the lead twice and then still managed to
what
fucking
game?
He's honestly
way.
doing a better job than Rafa done, and people just disrespect him because his name's not Rafa Benitez.
This was one of the most entertaining games of the weekend, by the way.
Yeah, well,
This was
And Newcastle didn't
great
play bad.
watch.
They didn't even play bad.
No, it was a brilliant
Well,
game to watch. It was just
Yeah.
back and forth. Like you said, Newcastle were just a bit unlucky, I think. But
So it was those
great
two.
watching.
It was those 2 very quick goals. It felt for it felt for like a 5-minute spell that Newcastle just seemed to switch off for a second. If you switch off against a team like West Ham, who have got the likes of Souček and Antonio, who can just punish you, it's a bit difficult, especially if you do sort of lose your header slightly. So difficult for Newcastle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
But
unfortunate. to be
Antonio's
fair.
got the
Very
biggest
unfortunate.
clock in the league, so it don't mean anything. They're going to win it all this season.
Fuck's sake.
Still think
It's just gonna
Newcastle they'll be okay. They'll finish.
It'll just be very interesting when Willock comes into the club. To be fair, last season
They tried to
phenomenal
copy our
stuff.
they tried to copy the Varane thing by bringing him out before the game to get the fans hyped up.
Willock in my book.
Pathetic.
Has Varane ever saved Newcastle from relegation? I didn't think so.
So
They were never
Luke,
getting relegated.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you about this one because you probably know a lot more about him than the rest of us. Joe Willock, what do you make of him? Like, do you think this is a good signing for Newcastle?
I think it's a good signing for 20 million because if did he ask you? Sorry.
Shut up,
Did he ask
He's fucking class. That's like my fantasy.
For 20 million, it's a good signing because I feel like if it was Arsenal buying Willock from Newcastle, they would have had to pay 40 because, especially like you look at how much he means to the club already after a short loan. Fans love him. Obviously, the people at the club love him, and what he did for him was obviously amazing. He scored 7 in 7. He's like the youngest player to do that. So, obviously, it's a great signing. But I mean, was I totally gutted to see him leave? When I was affiliated with Arsenal, was I gutted to see him leave? Not the only reason I would have been annoyed about it is the price because 20 million is just disgraceful. Because I've watched him play for Arsenal many times, and he didn't really do too much, to be honest. I think he's a great goal scoring midfielder. He sort of like does what Frank Lampard did when he used to make those late runs and arrive in the box quite late. And I think, that's his main attribute that everyone knows about him.
Do you think it's possibly what we're going to see with Jesse Lingard, which is with a West Ham side, very similar with Newcastle in a way where teams aren't going to sort of sit back and defend too much because they don't have that same respect that they do for United or a Chelsea or something like that. Do you think we'll see Willock really excel in a team where he is going to have space to run in and behind, a bit like you saw with Jesse Lingard last season? Jesse Lingard will struggle if he stays at United this season. I'm not going to get too much into United, but I do think Lingard will struggle because the space isn't there. It's a different kettle of fish playing for one of these big six sides, isn't it?
I think Willock will thrive at Newcastle because he'll be the main man. Like, I know they've got Wilson and Saint Maximin, but Willock is the guy that kind of like Saint Maximin, great dribbler, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have end product, which is what Willock has in like abundance. And I think he'll be the person that they'll like turn, like him and Wilson will be the people that they'll turn to for the goals, especially with Wilson, how injury prone he is. If he gets injured, then they're going to have to kind of rely on Willock in a sense for the goals. And I think he'll definitely thrive because they'll be looking for the space in the box for Wilson. And if not Wilson, then it will be Willock running in on the end of the crosses. So I definitely think he'll thrive. I just wish he was playing with a better manager than Steve Bruce, because fucking hell, watching Steve Bruce football actually, like, sometimes it genuinely feels like a chore.
To be fair, Newcastle's attack don't look too bad, to be honest. You got Saint Maximin, you got Almiron, you got Willock, you got Wilson now. It's looking a strong attack. I mean, bearing in mind defense maybe their biggest issue, I would say. Probably their biggest issue.
Yeah.
Barring the fact they spent 40 million on fucking Joe Linton, who was one of the worst signings in Premier League history.
Didn't Rafa want Joe Linton?
He did, but he was going to get him for 20 million as well.
Yeah,
not for 40. So
I think Rafa would have done so much better if he just got backed by Ashley. Him and Ashley just did not get on at all.
They did in the Championship, but I think that's because you could walk the Championship with a club like Newcastle. It definitely shouldn't be in the Championship, so should it? So very difficult for whoever the manager is at Newcastle. But moving on, because
I can't think of many managers that are going to do well under Mike Ashley, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Quite a lot.
But before we get to team of the week, because we do have that still to do, and people want to look at Fantasy League and look at whoever's bottom of the league. I don't know who that is, but I want to talk briefly about this game. Obviously, Tottenham managing to beat Manchester City 1-0. Nuno's first game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Good result for Spurs, but what do you make of it for City? I mean, apparently they've not lost 3 games in 3 different competitions without scoring a goal since Stuart Pearce in 2008 or something.
I think it's also their first opening day loss in about 10 years.
Yeah.
Last time it happened, United won the league.
So obviously, I'm not about to sit here and say United are going to win the league. But
no.
Does anyone have City down as potentially struggling this year? Because I can't remember who it was that mentioned it though. But I think it might have been Chris actually. When they lost Company, they didn't replace him, and they replaced him a year later with Diaz, and they struggled. And then they've lost Aguero. They're not looking at replacing Aguero at the moment unless they do a bit of madness between now and the end of the window.
They want Kane.
Yeah, they want Kane. They definitely want Kane.
They may want Kane, but Daniel Levy's stance is very clear. I want 150 million. You give me 150 million.
They put in Niall. They have put in 150 million.
Well, they put in 150
million.
I
don't think they've bid. I think they're interested.
They were preparing.
Yeah, I mean, unless a bid's gone in, then Daniel Levy's stance is very clear. I want 150 million. You can have him.
But what makes me laugh is that Guardiola called Tottenham the Harry Kane team. He's got beaten 3 times at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when Harry Kane's not been playing.
This tweet.
And he's literally going to sign Harry Kane.
It sounds very similar to the tweet that I sent you the other day, Dom.
Oh, was it?
Dom, is everything all right, mate?
What about the rest of you? What?
I mean, what would worry me as a City fan, right, is they looked so open every counter attack, just over and over and over. If they played a more clinical team, they could have been 4-0 down.
If they played Jose Mourinho Spurs from early last season with Harry Kane, I reckon Spurs would have hit him for about 6 or 7.
If Harry Kane was in that game, they could have held 4 or 5 goals, because every time they lost the ball, they were so short on the counter attack. We know City like to play a high line, but the fact that Pep didn't adjust that even at half time, after seeing that they were exploiting the high line over and over again, that's what would worry me, is that they didn't change it. There was no change after watching Tottenham just exploit the high line again and again and again. Every time they lost the ball, it was a 2-on-2, a 3-on-3. Tottenham were just rushing players forward, and City were just so short at the back over and over again.
And like I say, Russ, were you surprised that Rodri wasn't on?
Yeah, I'm just surprised that Pep didn't really seem to change anything. I thought maybe in the second half they might come out and he might, tell the defence don't push as high because we're getting exploited. But there was nothing seemed to change.
I think he should have just made one change at half time for me. Brought off Benjamin Mendy and brought on Zinchenko. It would have solved a lot of your defensive issues. Well, he might not have been able to take off Aki because we don't know what sort of fitness John Stones is in. So he might have had to have played Aki. But Zinchenko got knocked out in the quarterfinals, so you could have easily played Zinchenko at left back, and you didn't really need to play Benjamin Mendy, because it did appear that Benjamin Mendy was absolutely torn to shreds by anyone who went near him. So I just feel that at half time, if they had brought on Zinchenko, that would have strengthened their defence just a little bit more. And Zinchenko seems to understand that left back role that Pep wants to play. As we know that the wing backs for Pep go into that midfield, and then he does some weirdness with Fernandinho, who goes out. What he does is a complete and utter freaking mess.
But it also shows that Man City is so lost without the normal people at the back and with no striker.
Which is surprising, to be fair, because the way they rotate, they should be comfortable with anyone on the pitch, because they're constantly rotating. And I think that's what Pep's tried to do for the last God knows how many years.
You saw that
no matter what players are on the pitch, they're comfortable.
They rotated against Leeds last year, didn't they? And they got beat, didn't they? Maybe there is an element of truth to it.
I think the most surprising thing was just the lack of response from Pep. Like you say, if you bring on Zinchenko, and probably for me, Zinchenko and Rodri needed to come on to really change that game, and there was none of it. And realistically, they should have told that. I would have thought he would have told at half time the defensive line to just sit back just a little bit further, not drop right back. They're not ever going to be a low block team. But, we know this. They like to sit right up at the halfway line. But if you can see your team just getting exploited over and over and over again, how are you not making any changes to stop that? There seemed to be nothing from Pep to actually sort of adapt to the game.
Yeah. Can I just touch on the fact
I think the thing that was it's been obvious for a while, to be fair, but fucking hell, how badly does City need a striker? They are Ferran Torres, great player, can't play up front. He's inept up front. He makes good movement, but apart from that, I don't think he can't really play up front. I'd said it. I tweeted it after the game. I think if City don't get a striker, then I'd struggle to see them get top 4, because they're just so bad. They're so they're one of the least clinical teams in the league, to be honest. With the amount of chances that they create, they're just not like they just need someone to be on the end of them.
They're not that guy.
Shout. It's a bull shout, to be fair.
I do.
Watching that game gave me so much confidence in that shout.
I agree in a way, but we have seen them play without a striker before and do it successfully. Quite a few times last season when they were, when they had Aguero out and for some reason he didn't want to play Jesus. They were playing with false nines and stuff, and they were making it work. But like you say, this game against Tottenham, they just look toothless.
Also, Pep doesn't have a great record against Nuno. He really doesn't have a good record against Nuno. So
Nuno's won twice and drawn twice. So
it's a tough one. But anyone else got anything to say on this before we do Team of the Week?
I'm surprised no one's talked about. No, I mean, no. Can I just fucking talk? What the fuck? No, can we just talk about
calm down,
overrated?
Calm down the Irish De Bruyne. Calm down the Irish De Bruyne.
Anyway.
Yes, RJ. What did you want to talk about Grealish?
I'm surprised no one's talked about him. How shit he was. Like he literally got man marked against Man City. He was. No, you didn't get into full depth, did you?
So wait,
looks more at
a
way better game.
I want to say. So you're saying he was shit, but then you're saying he was man marked. So he was shit because he was being man marked. Like what? If a surely you.
Well, he was man marked at Villa.
If a player is being man marked, surely that means they're like because the other team know.
What was the difference at Villa? At Villa, he was always man marked because there was no other player to mark at Villa. He was the only guy that team in Villa that people were like, right, that's Jack Grealish. Put 2 lads on him, will be grand. Simple as that. They put one man. I think
the teams that man marked Grealish struggled in those games. Like West Ham told Kufal to sit on Grealish all game. He did it. Spurs told Nuno told Tanganga to sit on Grealish, and he did it, and he got pocketed.
That's why
Grealish was not saying Grealish was shit. It's just
he was shit. He was.
He wasn't.
He was bought for 100 million. He's the sixth most expensive player.
He's obviously going to take a while to adapt to a team like Man City. It's nothing like what he was doing at Villa. You've got to remember, at Villa, he's the main man. He roams around the pitch. He does what he wants.
He won't play the same way.
He's the star.
He won't. He won't get this.
That's what I'm saying. Of course, he's not going to play the same way.
He won't play well. He won't play well. There's only one way he plays well, and that's when he has space and he can do what he wants. He will not get that Man City, and that's why he will do shit. The reason why City won't do well this season.
You don't think that he's a good enough player to adapt to the way that City play?
Don't think he's going to get space when De Bruyne comes back into the team.
You realise the only reason he didn't have space is because Sterling was playing. If Sterling doesn't play, he'll get space.
You don't know how Pep plays. I mean, this guy really does. We don't know how he's going to start.
All right, cool. Thanks for telling me.
To be fair, RJ, I think Jack Grealish was very lucky that the ref didn't book. Very unlucky that the ref didn't book Tanganga, because as soon as Tanganga gets that yellow card, he's done for.
And he should have had a yellow card.
Yeah, he should have had a yellow card.
He definitely should have had a yellow card.
Half and didn't get booked.
Yeah, he should have been booked, which would have made Grealish's job a lot easier.
I mean, they probably would have put another player on. To be fair, that's just
they
probably put Oliver Skip on him then afterwards.
No. They'd have bought off Tanganga and bought on Matt Doherty and just told Doherty to sit on him as well, which would have Doherty, whatever.
Do you really not think Grealish is a good enough player to adapt to the way that City play and change his game?
For 100 million, not a hope. Not a hope.
Well, no, that's not. This price has got nothing to do with it. That's not what I just asked. This price has nothing to do with my question. Do you not think that he's a good enough player to adapt to the way that City play?
I'm just going to tell you now. I don't think he's going to play well.
What the fuck does the price have to do with it? For 100 million, not a hope. What? So if he was worth 5 million, you think he's going to adapt?
But listen,
Luke, I don't want to listen.
He won't do well. I'm telling you, 25.
They didn't need Grealish. Why did they need Grealish?
No, I agree they didn't. I agree they don't need him, to be honest with you.
And that's why they're going to fail.
They should have bought a striker. Everyone knows that they should have bought a striker. But then it's Manchester City. What's to say that they're not still going to buy a striker? Just because they've spent 100 million doesn't mean they're not going to spend another 150 on Kane.
So
I mean, if they do that, then
RJ,
if they don't get,
you think Grealish is going to struggle because City didn't?
He won't struggle. He's not going to play as well as people think. He's not going to be played in the exact same way. People think he's going to gel.
Also, do you not think he would have done better if he had a capable fullback that knew what an overlap run was? Because Benjamin Mendy's hopeless.
I don't know. I don't think he will.
What did you watch? How much Villa did you watch?
To be fair, if I'm being brutally honest, I don't think Pep plays with overlapping wing backs. If I'm being brutally honest with you,
that's not true. Because Walker does it all the time.
Well, Walker maybe.
Where does Walker play? He got dropped.
Yeah, but one minute.
He's been at the Euros. He's probably
one minute. Walker may do, but I know Zinchenko and Cancelo, if they're playing, they go inside. They go into midfield a lot. That's how Pep likes his wing backs. Luke, don't ask me why he does it. He's got one weird ass structure about his team. That
I agree with what you're saying. It's just when Grealish has an overlapping fullback, that's where he will be successful.
If he has an overlapping fullback.
Well, I was just about to say,
when it's literally a fact.
Last
season,
they're not going to spend money on a left back. They won't. Zinchenko will come back and he'll take that left back position.
Yes,
he won't go overlapping.
I'm saying when he has an overlapping fullback, he does a lot better.
Yeah,
do you think Pep might actually put him on the right side of the attack so that he can have Walker with him?
But this week, by the way, I don't agree with anything RJ's saying, but this weekend they had Benjamin Mendy left back. He plays like a left wing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Benjamin Mendy didn't really he made like one or two overlapping runs, but the runs Grealish prefers is overlap, not just an overlap, but I remember many times Target. Not only did he overlap, but he kind of cut into the box, and Grealish would do that little drag back, and then he'd find space for Target and to do something. Benjamin Mendy runs, he goes past the player and then just sits on the byline, and just puts shit crosses in.
I just think people need to take into account, right, that just because a club is willing to spend £100 million on a player doesn't mean that he's going to instantly adapt to a new team and just perfectly understand.
Hold on, Russ.
Russ, you're talking about a team.
Russ,
right?
one minute. Let me. Can you try and explain that to Graham Souness, please? Because he disagrees.
I would not want to explain anything to Graham Souness. Okay, I wouldn't even want to talk to him about the fucking time of day. But I think, I think people just have their expectations of Grealish at City are a bit too extreme. He's not going to walk into this team and suddenly know everything about how they play, and you got to remember he's going to have to change his game to fit into this City team. His game is about give me the ball, hero ball, watch me go. You lot just sit back and I'll do my thing. And he's gone to a team where that's not the case. He's surrounded by superstars. There's heroes all over the pitch at City.
I think the best way to put it is
that's the problem.
At Villa, he was big fish, small pond. At Man City, he's big fish, big pond, massive, great big ocean. There's a lot of big name players around him, and he's going to have to learn to trust his teammates. That's going to take him time.
And my point is, RJ, that basically, I think he's a good enough player to do that. It's just not going to be instantaneous. He's not going to walk in there and instantly change his whole game. But I think he is a good enough player that after a while playing in that City team, he will slowly get back to his best. He's just going to have to adapt his game a bit.
Also, can I ask how long? I
can't answer that for you, can I?
But how long do you think? How long do you think? How long do you think? Right, 100 million Grealish. How long do you think it will take him to?
Price tag.
You're gonna have to give him the best part of this season to really.
The price
really
tag doesn't. The price tag doesn't
mean a lot.
No, the price tag doesn't matter. 1 minute. Wait, stop. The price tag doesn't matter in terms of him fitting into a team. Right, the price tag is what he is currently valued at, and the only reason they've spent 100 million is because he had a buyout clause. So you weren't able to negotiate with Villa, or else I'm sure Man City would try negotiating down to 90, maybe even 85, and maybe see if that worked. In terms of him adapting to a new team, the price matters very little because that doesn't matter. You're just waiting on the player to adapt. I think you're probably looking at writing this season off for Grealish, and hopefully for him, next season he can have a stronger season. Because I do think this one, especially of how, if he had went to United or a Liverpool or a Chelsea, if Chelsea played with the 4-2-3-1 or whatever, right, I think his job would have been made easier because a lot of those teams would have played a more Grealish style way. If he went to United and was on that left-hand side, he would have had Luke Shaw offering him those overlapping runs. He would have had, you know, whoever right back at whatever. Or if he went to Liverpool, he would have had Robbo. And that's the thing. If he had went to a United or a Liverpool or even a Chelsea with Chilwell or Alonso, whoever it may be, I think his job would have been made a lot easier. What he's done is he's gone to a very, very technical team, because Pep is a very technical manager. He's none of this, I'm just going to do it because this is how it's going to be done. I'm not going to do this overlap. He got overcomplicated. How many times have we all sat here and said Pep's overcomplicated it? We always say this, right? In the Champions League final, he overcomplicated it. In the time they got knocked out by Lyon, he overcomplicated it. Pep has got a history of being very complicated as manager. That's going to take time for him to get in, for Grealish to get his head around what Pep wants him to do.
No, but look, no, this why was the reason why I was bringing up the 100 mil was they could have used that 100 mil.
Yeah, but RJ, that's
you
understand
RJ, I agree with you, RJ. Right, I agree with you completely that money should have been spent on Kane. It was what they needed. But the thing is, that money wasn't spent on Kane. It was spent on Grealish.
Yeah.
Now, the price tag doesn't matter on how long it's going to take Grealish to fit into this team. Right? That is just saying, and I understand your point, because I said it yesterday. I said they would have been much better off saving the 100 million, chucking 50 million on top, giving it to Spurs, getting Harry Kane, because that's what they needed. They needed that clinical striker. I'm not even arguing with you about that. I know that's what City need.
Yeah.
I think all of us sit here knowing that Manchester City shouldn't have bought Grealish and they should have saved that money and brought in Harry Kane. I think everyone agrees with that. What I think everyone is getting at, though, is that the price doesn't really matter in how long it takes someone to adapt to a team. Right? It could cost you 5 million or 100 million. It's still going to take you time to get around the tactics, around your players, around your manager. And the fact that he didn't go to a United or a Chelsea or a Liverpool, whose teams are made up a bit better for a Grealish type player, that has made his job even more difficult because of how overcomplicated Pep's tactics and structure is around his team. So it's just very difficult for Grealish. I think you are going to have to write off if not half, most of the season for Grealish to fit in.
I think obviously there should be expectations for £100 million player, but you can't, like, it's not his fault they paid. Like, you have to understand where he came from. He came from Aston Villa, where he was the main man. They're obviously going to demand a big fee for his player, especially after he signed a new deal last summer. So holding his price tag against him is kind of meaningless, because not only has he come from a completely different system with a completely different manager, he's come to a team where he's going to have to adapt massively and in a completely different system. So
it's not like he decided his own price tag.
Yeah,
saying someone was willing to pay for him.
But listen, it was his choice to leave.
He cost 100 million. It's just a futile argument in general.
What do you mean, RJ? It was his choice to leave. All right, you tell me. Would you rather play for Aston Villa or Man City?
Of course, you want to play with Man City.
Right,
I understand
you just
that, but do you understand this?
Then? Why would he not leave?
No, but listen, he's making life so much harder for himself.
Well, of course he is, but he wants to win trophies.
But RJ, again, I agree with your points here.
The way that Villa squad was going, they were going to win some trophies.
Well, mate, the point that is being suggested is the Grealish wanted to play in the Champions League and win the Champions League with City.
Okay.
He wants to play at the elite level. Aston Villa are not playing at the elite level, and they won't play at the elite level, unfortunately, because they simply don't have that money to go and do that. Right? They don't have the money to break into a City, United, Chelsea, Liverpool top four. No one does. Right? Maybe if Klopp leaves Liverpool, and if they don't get a good enough manager in after that, maybe they digress a bit. Maybe that gives you another opportunity for another team to break into that top four. My thinking would be it would most likely be Leicester, but that's just my personal opinion. Right? The difficulty is a football career is very short. We always talk about wait 4 years, wait a few years, it'll work out. A footballer hasn't got a couple of years to wait. Like if they break onto a scene at 18, right, and it's very rare that you start playing at the age of 18 and as a full-time member of the senior squad. I can't think of many. I know Greenwood did, but even he was a bit sporadic towards the start. It's very rare that a young kid like that does break onto a scene. And theoretically, most players retire at the age of what? Well, at the elite level. So you're not seeing many 34-year-olds playing for big clubs, are you? I can't think of many. I know Fernandinho is.
Thiago Silva.
Well, yeah, but he's also.
What do you mean by highest levels? Because I say you can name a good few that are.
Well, no.
Like top 5 leagues, or are you talking about Premier?
No. Premier League, mate. So I'm on about the Premier League because, well, mate, RJ, there's not many. You'll be able to name some. Well, you'll be able to name some. Of course you will. Fernandinho, Thiago Silva. You've also got Jamie Vardy. But okay, 4. So out of all the players in the Premier League, we've got 4. So what I'm saying is you will be able to name them. But what if he doesn't get that opportunity? What if he gets an injury sort of in his career that means he can't play for a Man City at the age of 33, right? You don't know what the future has in store for you. What would have happened if he had stayed at Villa and broke his leg, right? You can't say that it would never happen because it could happen. I just think that with Grealish,
but I mean that's thinking of the worst though.
Well, yeah, but a footballer has to think of the worst. Look at Fofana, right? Look at Fofana. I bet you he didn't walk into that Villarreal game thinking he was going to break his leg, and hey presto, he breaks his leg. But that's the thing, RJ.
That's a horrible way of thinking.
Yeah, but RJ, that's football. I'm afraid to say football is a contact game where sometimes horrific things happen, right? Yeah. So a footballer does have to think in the here and now, right? Because they want to win. Footballers want to win, right? They're competitive animals, right? The same as anyone who is competitive wants to win. And that's what Grealish has done. But look, we've spoken about Grealish for a long time, and we've still got Team of the Week to do. So we need to stop this so I can share my other tab and do Team of the Week. Now, obviously, we all know who's going out front, so I won't even ask for opinions on this one. So we'll start with goalkeeper, and we'll start with Gini. At least I hope I've got. I've just shared the wrong thing again. Clever me. But Gini, who are you saying in goal for Team of the Week?
Right. Well, I was just going round my head. Most of the games I watch on Match of the Day, so I can't colour. So I'm just going to be biased and say Alisson because of his magnificent double save.
Right, so Alisson for Gini. Russ?
I don't really know. I mean, to be honest, there was no one particularly stood out to me this weekend in the goalkeeping position, particularly. None of the games that I watched, the goalkeepers particularly amazed me.
Velv says a good shout. Raya, Brentford's goalkeeper. Not bad shout.
Maybe Lloris, to be fair.
I was going to say Lloris, yeah.
Lloris played well, yeah.
He did have a good few saves to make, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe Lloris. Yeah, I'll go with Lloris.
Lloris. Matt? Not Matt. RJ?
Yeah, Raya was a good shout, but I do think Lloris deserves it after what he did against City.
Okay. Luke?
I'd probably go for Lloris as well, to be fair.
Nice. And Matt?
Lloris.
Hugo Lloris gets in goal. Now, spelling his name is always fun.
LLO.
Yeah.
I think it's only 2 players. I think it's only fair in goal with 2 L's to start off his name, is it?
He may do.
Wow.
On to right backs. Gini, I'm presuming you're probably going to chuck out Trent or something.
No, Trent played really well, but I'm going to go Sergi Canos.
Canos.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 vote for Canos. Russ?
Yeah.
Valve makes a very good point. Tanganga.
Yeah.
Put him in centre back.
No, he played right back
No, he
for
did play
Spurs
right
against City.
I thought he made too many fouls. He was looking to get booked. So.
No, well, I'm going to go with Tanganga, to be fair, just because of the fact that he locked down Grealish.
Yeah. I mean, if you mark Grealish out of game, that's half your job done. RJ, what about you?
Yeah, Canos. Why not? Why not? Come
Okay.
up.
Luke, what about you?
I don't know. I was gonna go Canos originally. I was gonna put Canos at right wing first, and then Gini said him for right back. But Tanganga was incredible, to be fair. Having to mark not only Grealish but Sterling as well.
Sterling as well, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I guess.
you know, Canos was great, but I just think Tanganga for such a young player as well. I'd definitely go Tanganga.
Yeah,
He also survived this Joe's hair as well, yeah.
What about you, Matt? Who do you go for?
Tanganga.
Yeah, I'd have also gone for Tanganga as well. So Tanganga goes in at right back. Gini, who are your two centre backs?
Trevor Chalobah
Mm-hmm.
for Chelsea. I'll have to think about this one. You have to go back to me because off the top of my head I can't think of another one.
Okay. Russ, I'm guessing one vote for Chalobah.
Yeah, I'm probably literally the same as Genie right now, to be fair. Chalobah's got one of my votes, and I'm just trying to have a think about who I think deserves the other one.
Mustafa says Lindelof. Sanchez had a fairly decent game. I can't lie.
Yeah, he did, to be fair.
Yeah. RJ?
I mean, yeah, Chalobah. Why? How can you fucking reject him? I mean, fucking what a player. Yeah, like I said, everyone, we don't know because there's no standout centre back that actually did well. I mean, most of them just did their jobs. I mean, yeah, whatever you
Calm
want.
Calm down, Souness. Calm down.
You know what? Fuck it. Lindelof had a good game. Fuck it.
Big up to Conrad as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to say Rudiger for my other vote because he played quite well.
So we've got one vote for Lindelof, one vote for Rudiger. Luke?
Lindelof did set up that third goal for Bruno.
I was going to say Lindelof, but another player popped into my head. Lindelof was great, you know, no denying that. But Chalobah, obviously. But my other one's Ethan Pinnock from Brentford. I just thought he was top notch, to be honest. I think for a man with literally no Premier League experience, he dealt with everything well. He's quite composed on the ball. He brought it out from defence very well. So, yeah, Chalobah and Pinnock are my votes.
Is he the one with the long throw?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Conrad says, "Yo guys, how are you? Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. Just doing team of the week. So one vote for Pinnock, one vote for Rudiger,
sorry.
one vote
Pinnock
for
is the one with the long throw.
Yeah.
Right. Mustafa says Ben White. Noodlehead, what about you?
Davinson Sanchez and the Chelsea blue. I don't know if him.
Right. So Sanchez.
Everyone's got one vote, so it's really up to Genie who he wants.
Genie, who are you going for?
Yeah, between a toss up between Pinnock and Sanchez, but because it was against City and he's not good normally, I go down into Sanchez.
Yeah.
Spurs players. What the fuck?
I'm also going to go for Davinson Sanchez as well.
To be fair, RJ, they did just beat the defending champions, so
I know, yeah, but it's just weird the fact that we have
clean sheet.
Spurs.
It's not that way. They always beat City at home.
How the hell do you
That's
spell
true,
that?
yeah.
They literally did it last season and the season before.
Right, Sanchez is in there. On to left back. Genie?
Left back Marcus Alonso. Great free
Good
kick.
lad.
Okay. Russ?
Speak him in trouble.
Don't think you need to ask, do you?
No. RJ?
I know Alonso's, obviously people want me to go for it, but I'll go
Here we go.
No, I'll go Cresswell. Cresswell had a good game against Newcastle.
Cresswell, all right.
Oh.
Don't say I'm wrong. He did. Do what he did.
Luke?
I wasn't
even though he was on the losing side, I did think Tierney was one of Arsenal's best players.
My vote was going to go to Tierney because I thought he was
Tierney did play well, to be fair.
He got robbed of at least 3 assists.
He did play well.
Him and
He
Smith
created the
really
most
good choice,
chances of any player from this game.
for me, him and Smith Rowe shouldn't have been on the losing side. They genuinely looked class above the rest of that squad.
Yeah,
they did look a sort of class above the rest.
I don't think he's going to win, so it doesn't really matter. So I'll just vote
Well,
Tierney.
you never know. What about you, Newswide?
I'm going to put Tierney in there just to have an Arsenal player in there for Bantam.
Yeah. I'm also going to vote for Kieran Tierney because I did actually think Kieran Tierney had an extremely good game. It was just a shame that the rest of the team around him was an absolute pile of crap. But Kieran Tierney goes in at left back for us. DM Gini, I'm guessing you'll probably go Fred McTominay.
No, DM. I had a midfield 3 in my head, but it doesn't have a DM. So my midfield 3 is Pogba, Fernandes, and Kovacic.
Right, so we'll just put your vote for Kovacic in, because he's the most defensive out of the 3. Russ, I'm guessing you'll go vote Kovacic.
No, do you know what? I'm actually going to have to say Bruno, Pogba, and Souček.
Right, so we'll put Souček as your vote there. Right. But you do realise Pogba played on the left, right?
But it doesn't matter. He literally does play in midfield.
Oh, no.
To be fair, Decore is a shout for season.
RJ, it fucking does matter. Thank you very much.
Okay, then Souček is a midfielder. Souček is a midfielder.
Right, so Gini, you went for who? So Kovacic.
I went Kovacic, Pogba, Bruno. Yeah.
You can't have Pogba, I'm afraid. He played on the left.
Oh, Kovacic. Decore. Decore is the CDM, Kovacic and Pogba centre.
Bloody hell, how would you spell Decore? You can help me spell. We'll deal with that in a second. Russ, so you went Souček, Bruno.
I have to replace Pogba.
You do.
Oh, well then Kovacic, yeah.
Kovacic. RJ?
Bruno, Souček, and I would say Kovacic, but no, I'm going to go for that Brentford player. Nogard, to be fair. He was a beast, man.
Nogard it is. And then Noodlewed. Actually, no, not Noodlewed. Luke.
Norgard, Højbjerg, and Bruno.
Højbjerg, yeah.
Højbjerg, good shout there. Noodlewed.
Fred, Bruno, and McTominay.
Fucking hell. Fred and McTominay.
Did you watch any other games? Just can you be honest? Did you watch any other games?
No, I put Højbjerg in there. And
no, it's okay. I'll let you have that vote because I'm gonna vote for Bruno. I'm gonna vote for Souček and I'm gonna vote for Norgard.
Let's go! Big up.
So that means
McTominay played
Souček.
Yeah, but McTominay always plays well against Leeds.
Yeah, McTominay didn't get a goal.
Can go there. Then we want
City, so it shouldn't count.
Bruno, and then Norgard. Okay. Right, on to the right wing. Gini?
Yeah, easy. I thought Lucas Moore played well, but no way can you look past Salah, clear.
Salah. Okay. Russ?
Yeah, it's got to be Salah, really, isn't it? Goals, assists, cracking game.
I'm going for the guy who was walking home with a bike. If anyone saw that video, you know what it is. It's Mohamed Salah.
Okay.
Could have just said Salah, mate. I don't know why.
Well, fuck off.
Luke.
Don't know why you had to complicate it. The little dancer from Liverpool, Mo Salah.
And Noodlehead.
I couldn't.
Noodlehead.
Salah.
And yeah, it looks like Salah was quite easily, comprehensively in there. Onto the left wing. Who are we putting there? Obviously, Also, big up to Dan Pogba at CM. Unfortunately, Dan Pogba played at left wing, so this is where Pogba could potentially go in if it is agreed by the panel. And we'll start with Gini.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Pogba.
Russ.
Yeah, Pogba.
Excellent. RJ.
Pogba.
Luke.
Pogba.
Noodlehead.
Pogba.
Excellent. On to striker. I'll start the voting. Greenwood. I actually thought. Do you know what? I actually thought he had a very good game. I'm not even joking. He got a goal, or should have got an assist if Pogba learned how to finish his chances. For 92 million or 89 million, however much, I expected that goal to go in, and I expected him to be farting fireworks out of his arse after for his goal celebration. So I'm very disappointed, to be honest. I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. Gini, who are you going for up front?
Oh, it's a toss up between Antonio and Dennis.
That's one vote to Greenwood. Dennis, did you say?
Yeah, Emmanuel Dennis. Yeah.
He played really well, to be fair.
He did, yeah.
He did play
There,
really
there
well.
were some good striker performances this weekend. This was a good weekend for strikers.
Well, mine was literally the same. I was sitting here thinking it's either Dennis or Antonio, but I think I've got to give it to Antonio, to be fair. I thought he had a really good game.
Antonio. RJ.
I mean, look, everyone agrees. So many strikers did well. Son was playing striker against Spurs.
If you don't back your boy, I'm never having you on the United
What do you
show.
mean back your boy? Like, shut up. Like,
No, not back.
no,
Hold
literally,
on,
no. I don't get a fucking boner every time you fucking play.
Okay, RJ may never be on the United show ever again.
Oh,
I'll take his place. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's sound, Luke. That's sound.
Good luck with that. No,
being unbiased, man, there were better performances. I'm not saying
Yeah.
Greenwood played bad.
You just wait till we get to the end, Ross.
Like Greenwood played well, but Antonio played better.
He did not, but you are entitled to your opinion.
You know what? Since the doubters were going at him, Jamie Vardy.
Okay.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this.
Oh,
Luke.
Ivan Toney has been fucking robbed here. Ivan Toney.
This is absolute. Do you know what? This is absolutely beautiful. Because I know that my
me 2 points.
it's okay because I know that my man Matt is absolutely going to do the right things. And Matt,
I want to change my vote to Dennis.
No. Unfortunately,
to say someone else at Greenwood.
Nah, Matt knows what's good for him.
I was actually with Antonio.
Oh, thank God!
Yeah.
No, right, sweet.
I heard Greenwood. So welcome to North Korea, guys. You all knew that was coming.
What the fuck? You can't get in everywhere.
No, he said Antonio.
Yeah, well, I also said
from the absolute shackles of Niall Kim Jong-un over here.
I also said welcome to North Korea. You all knew that was happening.
This is number one bullshit.
Also, I'm surprised. Well, yeah, but he scored a goal this week, so I can force him this week.
Bruno scored a hat trick, and fucking Antonio did he not score?
Yeah, but Bruno's in there, and Antonio.
Then he scored and set one up.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy scored a winning goal.
Yeah, but if Pogba learned how to score a goal, Greenwood would have scored and assisted. So you know,
we got assist as well. Come on, Niall.
Yeah, should have got an assist. You're damn right, but unfortunately, that wasted.
RJ was trying to argue a United player out of the lineup.
Yeah, I can't believe it. RJ's position is now under threat.
Hey,
it
I'm trying to separate myself from fucking mad. Like, I'm not fucking deluded. Like.
Do you say me?
I mean, you do say 21 is coming, mate. So 21, yeah. So.
You said Grealish.
That's not deluded.
And you just said that.
Grealish won't be good, man.
I was just about to say.
That's not deluded.
Is it deluded? You just don't like him because he turned on your shit country.
Mate, you are from Northern Ireland. You fucking have less history than us. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about history?
You don't have history. What history do you have?
We won the UK Cup once. Google it.
So do we. We won the Nations Cup too. We bummed you back in like 2011. Like
that's a bit weird.
And the last bit was
2011, mate.
Whilst you girls keep arguing. It is time to have a look at Team of the Week. Well, not Team of the Week, at the Fantasy 11
We're not team manager.
or Fantasy Premier League.
Where are you, Mac? Where are you, Mac? I need to see where you are, mate.
So,
Yeah,
so
like,
one moment. So at the top of
you play
top of the league, top of the league is Chris Welch with 98 points. He's the Liverpool family, and then you got G-Sun Park the Bus in second. Ballandorigi in second as well. Alice in Wonderland in fourth.
It's a data breach.
Liam
It says my full name on it, and I don't want it there.
Also fifth.
Yeah, it's
Steve
changed on
Lowe
my name.
is
Like, I don't put my full name here. Like,
Gini left the bottle is seventh. Dylan Gill is seventh. I am ninth. Perry Lewis is 10th. Russell is 11th, as is Don. Luke is 13th. Slen is 14th. Glory for Sir Max is 15th. And right at the bottom is someone called Matthew. And let's have a look at why Matthew is bottom.
Is this your first time doing fantasy?
Russ said, I've left.
On this one,
Russ said, I've left. Can't be part of a channel where Greenwood gets into the team every week. Only when he scores. And RJ's now.
I think Matt should get more points for his name. That's a great name.
So
Thank you.
the name Pjanic at the disco. He got Martinez in goal, which isn't a bad shout. Luke Shaw had a bit of a shite game, didn't really do a lot. Konza, Digne, and Diaz. I mean, Jesus, you couldn't have asked for a worse set of defenders if you tried. In midfield, yes. Okay, you've got Mason Mount. Congratulations. Grealish did fuck all. Pepe, I don't even understand what Pepe is doing there. Kai Havertz is a brave shout, but that's quite stupid. Playing Patson Daka is
I do on the bench.
No, he does not.
and you're saying
he's got Patson Daka up front, which is just baffling.
No, I just point out,
he's brought in.
Matt's biggest problem with his team.
He's got Ivan Toney.
Is not the players that he has. Matt's biggest problem is the players that he don't have. Who makes a fantasy team and doesn't put either Salah or Bruno in?
Yeah, or even Pogba. Yeah. Pogba was always going to be a shout.
Fuck off, Pogba.
When does Pogba is in about 1%.
I know. I'm joking.
How do you make a fantasy team and decide that you don't want Salah or Bruno? Like neither of them. Like,
the funny thing is, right? He is United's second best.
Can I just say his bench has got absolutely no players that were playing. Cavani's still not at United still. Willock was only just signed. Stones was always going to be on the bench. Yeah, well, you've really fucked up, Matthew. So if I was you, Matt, I would... Matt, if I was you, I would be looking at how to improve your team next week. I'll make some suggestions. You might want to pass the Daka out there, mate. You absolutely want it. You absolutely want to take Pepe out of there. That's just for obvious reasons. His bench. Oh yeah, and the fact that he's captain Cavani is just absolutely mind-blowing at the best of times.
I didn't think he'd get an extended break.
He's actually captained a guy who was running on a treadmill with his daughter a couple of days ago.
I didn't know he was going to be doing that 2 weeks ago.
How do you not know who is and isn't playing in your own team?
No, I hope you all remember this. Like, Matthew, don't ever talk to us about it. Doesn't matter if you made this, whatever. Literally, that team is horrendous.
I didn't know he was going to go. Why is Lick's name Matthew Stewart?
You put in Pepe and Mount. You didn't put in Fernandez. How mad is that, man?
Yeah, but he had Pepe and Willock. So...
I'd like to report Luke. He's data.
Matt, you're the one who was leaking addresses in the group chat the other day. Don't give it that.
Fuck. Don't bring that up. No need to
to be fair, I remember
with us when you decided that Joe Willock and Nicola Pepe were a better idea than Salah or Bruno. Can you just run through that decision?
Yeah, please.
Joe Willock's going to have a class season. Just wait. He's staying in the team.
He literally signed for him about
You're-
2 days
you're
ago.
actually-
Yes, but I didn't.
What
I thought
the-
I'd done it ages ago. I done this team ages ago.
Unbelievable.
Well, yeah, but like I said, how
So,
fucking
so wait,
high
if you
were
did
you
this
at that
ages
rate?
ago, surely you would have had Willock in when he was at Arsenal, so he wouldn't have even played.
No, but I knew
Oh
he was signing
my-
for Newcastle.
Oh my dear
Everyone knew he was
Christ!
signing for Newcastle.
The brain cells are gone, lads. The brain cells are fucking leaving me. Help!
Just
Fuck,
wait
didn't
till
have many
RJ's
effect.
next.
Hold
Just
on,
wait till
hold
RJ's
on,
next.
RJ. With some of the things you've said in
Hey, yo,
He's talking to
nothing
people.
were that bad
You-
compared to his teammate.
Oh.
22 points. Come on. I
I
thought
can't
your
believe
Euros
this
was
stinker
even
I can't believe
What?
this stinker week.
Mate,
We're
I'm
gonna have a
I'm
stinker
sick.
a stinker week.
I'm-
That
I'm
wasn't a stinker. That's what
You said,
I'm
and
s-
I quote, that Buendia wasn't like has only just come to the Prem, despite him playing in the Prem and making creating the third most amount of chances. And you also said because he was
Wait, who
100
did-
million, that Jack Grealish can't adapt to Man City. So
He won't. I'm telling you.
Lads, I'm off. I'll see you soon.
You-
Yeah, we're just
I
about
think,
to
yeah,
we're just about to wrap
I've
it up
also
now.
got to
Anyway.
run off anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I was just about
I'm
to say
gonna go get more
we're
pizza, mate. I'm
we're
fucking
gonna-
starving.
we're gonna wrap it up anyway because these lot could argue for hours. But before we do go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on as well. Russ, quickly, where can they find you, mate?
CFC_Russ on Twitter, and very rarely on this channel, but sometimes.
He's a
never
background
know.
staff. He's doing things in the background, lads, and you don't know. So
Why
This
do
is
you
Just
true.
because
put
he's
it
rarely
on
on this channel doesn't mean you can exclude him, Kenny. You
I-
knobhead.
Yes.
yeah,
Kenny,
exactly.
stop
Oh, wait,
excluding
what?
me.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I do not.
Oh, yeah,
agree
we-
on that.
I hope he's
Okay.
watching this. I hope he's watching.
We may
What about
have
Red
had for everyone watching, we may have had the OGs on today, so you know. Yeah,
Can I just point out that even when Charlotte had a go at Kenny about forgetting people, she forgot me.
Yeah. Poor Russ.
Yeah.
What was the
There
other
you
one
go.
that you got that forgot you? Who was the other person?
There was like
Oh,
those
Max.
two
Max.
things. There was,
Max did. Max
Oh,
Tiger.
yeah.
I've got Max
Yeah,
guy
he's
as
Max
well.
made- Max made a team for the Let's Talk Premier League. I was forgotten out of that. I was forgotten out of Kenny's draft fucking lottery or whatever it was.
That
And then
was-
Charlotte had a go at people about forgetting people and forgot me in the message where she had a go at people.
To be
for
fair,
forgetting
Russ,
people.
I wouldn't want to be a part of Kenny's draft. It was awful. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But Kenny, Liam, we're just wrapping up. I'll show your team probably tomorrow on the Late Show. Why not? We'll do it then.
We're not talking about the game this week.
But Luke, where can they find you, mate?
On Twitter at MSC6921 and on YouTube Robotic Jaguar and on Twitch Robotic Jaguar as well.
Excellent.
And TikTok.
Love
Don't
it.
forget TikTok. He's on TikTok.
Oh yeah, and TikTok. I don't even know yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
man's grinding on TikTok to be fair. You know, it's a great way.
Well,
lads, to be fair, you should try.
the last time I heard you were grinding on Astrid Wet, but where can they find you, RJ?
What the fuck? You're a
I'm
weirdo.
just working for Astrid.
Shut up, like nah. You can find me pretty much on all social media as Robotic Jaguar.
Luke's just done it
yeah.
for you. Double promotion.
No, Thank you, Luke. Thank you, MSC6921 on Twitter. Thank you so much for that. No, yeah, you can also find me on this channel. To be fair, hosting the United Show and helping this channel through this beautiful journey. So
You might still have your job by the end of it if you don't disobey me. And Greenwood was put in because you know he scored it. It's not his fault. Pogba is a shit footballer. But Matt, what about you? Where can they find you and your excellent fantasy football skills?
Yeah. If you want to DM me a piece of my fantasy team, you can DM me at Sancho is here on Twitter. And DM me notes of abuse, please. That'll
you can also find him on Twitter.
Piss out of Matt for his team or anything like that. You just message
Find
him
him
on Twitter.
at Matthew.
At Sancho is here.
The funny thing is,
It's his fantasy team is.
that's all I always say. You can also find him on Twitter getting absolutely roasted by Kendall. So don't worry, guys. You know, he called him Noodlehead. That's why he's now known as Noodlehead. If you ever want
And
to.
make sure you all follow my YouTube. It's just here at Robotic Jaguar. I've got
Hey, big up.
subscribers.
Triple promotion, boys. Big up. Let's go.
I play Rocket League. Flight simulator, sex simulator.
Hey, yo, no, Russ, I don't want to get cancelled, mate. All right, you know how this fucking media is at this shit now. The KSI might be deleted off YouTube because of this shit. So you know.
Yeah, everyone report robotic aggro on YouTube.
Okay, mate, I will fucking.
Yeah, word on the street is if you play Rocket League, you also play with children. But that's just like.
You support Arsenal. Shut up. Gonna fucking.
Do I support Arsenal?
I'm gonna end it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Fuck off, Devin.
Do that.
More report robotic aggro.
Devin, I don't want you following me.